Hey there, it's Colette, and I am continuing on with my series on the subdoshas. In this episode, I'm going to focus on the subdoshas of Pitta. Now, each dosha has 5 subdoshas that help it carry out its functions in the body and the mind. So stay tuned and learn more about this fascinating wisdom from Ayurveda. Hello and welcome to Elements of Ayurveda, Empowering Wisdom of Life. I'm your host, Colette, and in this podcast, I hope to empower you to take charge of your own health by sharing the holistic teachings of Ayurveda, the ancient healing tradition from India. We will also discuss topics like health and wellness, nutrition, yoga, fitness, meditation, breath work, and much more, as well as interviewing lots of inspiring people along the way. My humble wish is to help you to connect to your true nature, to Mother Nature, and to each other. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the show, and the new episodes will automatically download for you to enjoy. If you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend you listen to the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. I've also set up a Facebook group for us to connect and to support each other, and I'd love for you to join me over at Elements of Ayurveda podcast group. And now here's the show. Welcome back to Elements of Ayurveda. It's Colette, and today I'm continuing on with the series on the subdoshas. This is fascinating wisdom from Ayurveda. So we're going to delve deep into the Pitta subdoshas today. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the importance of doing our health checks at this time of year. I spoke about this in the previous podcast episode with Amy, which was episode number 104, the transitioning into autumn. And Amy Wheeler and I were just saying how we were both doing our health checks at this time of the year. And I really feel that the PreHoliday health checks is really important, because even with the best of intentions, the holiday season can really throw us off our routines, our healthy routines and our healthy eating patterns, because we may be traveling or we may have a lot of festive occasions, and it just kind of disrupts everything a little, which is good, right? A little disruption from routine is good now and then. But because the holiday season can go on a long time, for several weeks, it can really play havoc with our health and our well-being. And it can really throw our doshas out of whack. Therefore, I really recommend this time of year, when it's still like the calm before the festive storm, is to do all your health checks and to get all those scheduled right now to build up your immunity so that you're boosting your immune system, and therefore you can have a strong, healthy foundation heading into the holiday season. This will act as a buffer to any of that holiday stress that may affect you physically or mentally. So doing those health checkups, making sure you have those daily self-care practices in place, and making sure that they become part of your daily routine so that they're just on autopilot once you go into holiday season, and they're just a part of your daily routine. And those are really important to keep your body and mind in balance. And I think particularly mental health at this time of the year is really key. We're in Vata season, and we know that Vata can get a little bit deranged and aggravated during the fall and winter. And with the addition of the holiday stress and holiday festive occasions and travel, it can really cause havoc to our mental health. So including your breath work, your meditation, and your yoga, along with healthy food, along with having a good lifestyle that is balancing to your dosha. This will really support you during the holiday season. So if you need a strategy, or if you need advice or support that's tailored to you, you can book an online consult with me. I'll put the link in the show notes, or just visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com/consultation. And taking care of your health and well-being now, before the holiday rush, will really help you understand how to navigate the holiday season, enjoying the festivities without the concern or worry about aggravating your dosha or doshas, which can result in many symptoms physically or mentally. So, in order to enjoy the holidays ahead, do your pre-holiday health check now. Okay, let's get on with today's show, where I'm going to share with you the fascinating wisdom from Ayurveda on the subdoshas of Pitta. And just to review here, each dosha of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha have 5 subdoshas or subtypes, which are located at specific sites in the bodies to support the dosha in carrying out its functions in the body and in the mind. And the series started in episode number 103, where I discussed the subdoshas of Vata. And today it's all about the subdoshas of Pitta. And we know that Pitta is comprised of the elements of fire and water. And its responsibilities in the body are for conversion and for all transformation. And what helps Pitta carry out its responsibilities are the 5 subdoshas of Sadaka Pitta, Alochaka Pitta, Ranjha Capita, Pachaka Pitta, and Brajaka Pitta. Now, excuse me in advance if my pronunciation of those Sanskrit terms are incorrect. I'm doing my best. But if you want to get a visual, just hop on over to the show notes and I'll have them written out there for you. But today we're going to start with Sadaka Pitta. And Sadaka Pitta is located in the brain and in the heart. Therefore, it governs the 2 essential organs for life. And sadhaka means to achieve or to fulfill, or one who seeks the truth. Now, Sadaka Pitta is responsible for creating the feeling of I am, the ego. And this is positive ego that's necessary for understanding and for growth. It's responsible for knowledge, for thinking, and for learning. And Sadaka Pitta governs the digestion of our ideas, our thoughts, and transforms them into awareness and understanding. Sadaka Pitta is also responsible for our passion, our goals, our desires, and our determination. Now, Dr. Ladd wrote that Sadaka Pitta is necessary for the transformation of an object into pure experience. And when experience is recorded in the brain cells, it becomes memory, and memory is knowledge. And Dr. Ladd goes on to say that there are 2 kinds of knowledge. The first kind is the knowledge from memory, which we just spoke about, where Sadaka Pitta transforms an object into pure experience. The experience is recorded in the brain cells, as I just said, and it becomes memory, and that memory becomes knowledge. But the other kind of knowledge is from direct perception. Dr. Ladd says that knowledge from direct perception is the blissful awakening of pure intelligence, and knowledge from memory is really only information. Every thought, feeling, and emotion should be processed by Sadaka Pitta and converted into intelligence or discrimination. However, if it's not processed, it's stored in the connective tissue, and this could lead to issues in our tissues further on down the line, where we have undigested thoughts or emotions or feelings or experiences. Now, why would these not be processed? Well, perhaps we've gone through a traumatic experience in our life and we just can't handle it, and we just don't want to process it or deal with it. Well, then it could certainly be stored in our tissues. Or if we're simply not respecting the circadian rhythms. For example, if we're not getting to bed at 10 p.m. at night, when Pitta energy rises at 10 p.m., it's responsible here for converting and transforming our thoughts, our experiences, and anything we learned during that day, and transforming it and converting it into knowledge. But if we're staying up and active past 10 p.m., these thoughts and experience cannot be processed. We're not converting those daily experiences into knowledge. How I think of it is anything we take in during the day is stored in a temporary file. And then when we go to sleep at night, this Pitta energy comes in and transforms it and converts it into knowledge and stores it in our hard drive for use at a later time. However, if we're staying up and active past 10 p.m., then this information in the temporary file is not being converted into knowledge and gets deleted. Therefore, we forget about these experiences or anything we've learned that day. So we can see that respecting the circadian rhythms here is really important. Now, Sadaka Pitta, as we said, is also located in the heart and transforms sensations into feelings and emotions in the heart. Emotions like love, compassion, understanding, sharing, and caring. Now, when Sadaka Pitta is aggravated or out of balance, the negative ego can take hold, bringing a need or desire to control and to dominate. And it can also bring feelings of hatred and jealousy, anger and selfishness, and a desire to have power at any cost. So this is Sadaka Pitta, and as you can see, it's extremely important to keep Sadaka Pitta in balance so that Sadaka Pitta can carry out its responsibilities. Okay, let's move on now to Alochaka Pitta, which is located in all parts of the eyes, and it is responsible for generating visual impulse, helping us to see completely what we perceive. It not only processes visual images, but also gives us clarity, awareness, and understanding. If Alochaka Pitta is out of balance, it can result in short-sightedness or far-sightedness. It could also result in night blindness or color blindness. Other signs of imbalance of Alochaka Pitta are iritis, conjunctivitis, styes, or maybe a burning in the eyes. The visual impulse that is generated by Alochaka Pitta is then digested and interpreted by Sadaka Pitta, which we discussed previously, and therefore it is Sadaka Pitta that takes this visual impulse, digests it, converts it, and really helps us to understand what we perceive. So that's Alochaka Pitta. We know that the eyes of the organs of Pitta, so that makes sense that this Alochaka Pitta is located in all parts of the eyes. The next subdosha is Pachaka Pitta, which is located in the small intestine and the lower part of the stomach. The root of the word Pachaka means to cook, to digest, or to transform. And this is the action of Pachaka Pitta. It's to cook and digest the food, and that includes the acids and the enzymes required for digestion and required to break down the food so that the blood vessels can absorb the nutrients. Brajaka Pitta is a part of our main digestive fire or Agni. Now, when Pachaka Pitta is out of balance, it can be too low, which is where we experience poor digestion, which can result in ama, or toxins, and a lack of nutrients being absorbed. Or it can be too high, which could result in hyperacidity, heartburn, indigestion, and nausea. So Pachaka Pitta is part of the main digestive fire, or Agni, which is called Jathara Agni. And it's really responsible for making sure our digestion is working efficiently. And if it's too low, then it can mean that the food is not being broken down, which can result in undigested food, which, as we know, can result in toxins or ama in the body. And if it's too high, then it can result in hyperacidity and so on. So we need to make sure that Pachaka Pitta is in balance and working efficiently. And this is where we need to make sure that our food and diet and lifestyle are in alignment, not only with the circadian rhythms, but also with our constitution or our doshas, so we can prevent this aggravation from happening. Moving on now to the next subdosha, which is Brajaka Pitta, and it's located on the skin, and it's responsible for giving the color, the luster, and warmth to our skin, and it does this by maintaining the blood flow. It also has the big job of being the barrier between our internal environment and our external environment. Now, Brajaka Pitta digests and transforms any oils or creams or medication that is put on our skin. We know that our skin is our largest organ. So Brajaka Pitta digests anything we put on our skin, which is why we have to have great awareness that what we're putting on our skin has natural products. Essentially, when we want to be able to eat anything we put on our skin, because our Brajaka Pitta is eating and digesting and transforming those products. Now, Brajaka Pitta also digests and transforms information that we get from the sense of touch. When Brajaka Pitta is out of balance, it can affect this sense of touch, and it can result in numbing sensations of touch or possible tingling in the skin. It can also result in inflammatory conditions on the skin like eczema, dermatitis, acne, psoriasis, rosacea, hives, or skin ulcers. So Brajaka Pitta, located on the skin, it's got a big responsibility. It gives us the color, the luster, the warmth in the skin as it maintains the blood flow to the skin. So very important function there for Brajaka Pitta. So the final subdosha of Pitta is Ranjha Capita, which is located in the liver, the spleen, and the small intestine. The Sanskrit word for Ranjaka means to give color, and this subdosha gives color to the blood, the urine, and the feces. Ranjaka Pitta in the liver gives color to all the tissues, like the skin color, the hair color, and the eyes. It's responsible for the creation of red blood cells in the bone marrow, which are mixed with the rasa dhatu and the plasma, giving color to the blood. Now, the spleen filters the blood, sending the old red blood cells to the liver to be destroyed and separating the enzymes, which are eliminated via the stool. When Ranjaka Pitta is out of balance, it can result in jaundice, which causes a yellowing of the skin and the whites of the eyes. It can also result in anemia, chronic fatigue syndrome, bleeding disorders, and leukemia. So there you go. They are the 5 subdoshas of Pitta. And just to review, it's Sadaka Pitta, which is located in the brain and the heart, and it is responsible for understanding and for growth and for knowledge and thinking, and also for our passion and determination and desires. Then we have Alochaka Pitta, which is located in all parts of the eyes and responsible for generating the visual impulse. Then we have Pachaka Pitta, which is located in the small intestine and the lower part of the stomach, and this helps to cook, to digest, and transform the food. And this includes the acids and the digestive enzymes, which help to break down our food. And then we have Brajaka Pitta, which is located in the skin. It's responsible for the color, the warmth, and the luster of our skin, and also acts as that barrier between our outer and inner environment, and helps us to digest anything that's put on our skin, but also to transform the information we receive from the sense of touch. And finally, then we had Ranjha Capita, which is located in the liver, the spleen, and the small intestine. And this gives color to the blood, the urine, and the feces. And it's responsible for the creation of the red blood cells in the bone marrow, which is mixed then with the rasa dhatu and plasma, giving color to the blood. So there you go. You can see the importance of those 5 subdoshas to help the Pitta dosha carry out its functions and responsibilities in the body. And how do we keep these subdoshas in balance? Well, this is where it's important that we keep our digestive fire working well. And how do we do that? Well, making sure we're eating a soul food diet, seasonal, organic, unprocessed, and local. And also doing regular cleansing, making sure we're eliminating those toxins and preventing a buildup of toxins in the tissues. This regular cleansing helps to keep our digestive fire working efficiently and that we're eliminating well. So focusing on your diet and lifestyle is really important to keeping the doshas and the subdoshas in balance, and also understanding, of course, what is your constitution? What are your typical signs of aggravation for you? And once you know this information, you can tune into your body and be more sensitive to those signs of aggravation and bringing your body and mind back into balance quickly before these subtle signals of imbalance manifest into a bigger problem, into a bigger illness or disease. So really understanding your mind-body type, your birth constitution, understanding the signs of aggravation in your body and mind, and getting the knowledge on how to bring your body and mind back into balance with a diet and lifestyle and those daily self-care practices we talk about. All this information you will get in a consultation. If you want more of an understanding, I provide them online. You can book it on my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com/consultations. I'll put the link in the show notes. But once you have this understanding from Ayurveda, you can take this information forward into your life and feel empowered and have the confidence to keep yourself in balance and preventing these doshas and subdoshas from aggravating and causing problems in the tissues, in the body, and in the mind. So there you go. There are the subdoshas of Pitta. Again, amazing wisdom from Ayurveda and breaking it down even further for us. I hope you enjoyed this information. If you find that this information will be helpful to family or friends, please share the episode. If you haven't already done so, I recommend that you subscribe to the podcast so that the episodes automatically download wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you have any feedback, if you want to share any thoughts on this episode or other episodes, please join us over at the Elements of Ayurveda podcast Facebook group, where as a community we can share and support each other. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our next one in this series will be on the subdoshas of Kapha. And until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and ciao for now.